Hello again, everyone. This is Kevin Johnson of Leverage Consulting, and you are listening to your next installment of the Organizational Excellence Podcast. In the next series of podcasts, I've got a series of questions that revolve around one topic, and that would be team meetings. I had a discussion recently where a number of really good questions came up, and I thought, well, where better to share this information than across this podcast? So the series of podcasts will be about questions that have arisen about team meetings and a number of questions that swirl around that. So the first question today really came up and was probably the number one question that comes up about team meetings, and that is just taking the time for a team meeting. And most times when people say they don't have time, they're thinking about either their time taking away from what they're trying to get done or taking time away from their ability to help clients, help patients, create sales, production, any number of those things. But it all comes back around to either the time taken away from what I'm supposed to be doing every day or the time taken away from what I'm supposed to be doing for someone else, again, patient, customer, whoever it is. So I thought, well, I'm going to go back on my background with numbers and things like that, and let's just break this down and make it super simple. So let's use an example. Consider that a business owner or the business itself runs for 5 days a week, 4 weeks out of a month, 8 hours a day. That's 160 hours for the entire month. And we're concerned about taking out 2 hours of that time for a team meeting. And again, the concern is that it's taking away our time to deal with our duties or deal with our patients and customers. So think of it this way. What is the whole purpose of a team meeting? Team meeting is typically about training. It's about communication. It's about enhancing skill sets and things like that. So would it seem inconceivable that we could increase our productivity by 1.2%? Only thing we have to do is increase our productivity 1.2% to overcome those 2 hours. So all we're trying to do is break even, not even grow at this point, but just to break even. We only need to increase the efficiency by 1.2% to overcome the 2 hours that we invested, not lost, the 2 hours that we invested in a team meeting. So then let's take this a step further and say, well, we don't want to break even. No one wants to break even. We actually want to get ahead. That's part of the point of having a team meeting is to get ahead. Let's just say that our efficiency gained us 10%. So we could, let's just say in that 160 hours per month that we've gained the efficiency, we've gained 10% efficiency, and that's given us another 15, 16 hours a month that we can actually spend doing other things. So I could literally say, I can take that time off, but because we're a business and we're open all the time, we can do the amount of work that we were doing before in 160 hours, we can now get done in 145 hours. So what we've just said is we've gained 15 hours. So if we've gained 15 hours, let's do the math on that. So if you generated $100 an hour, and this could be an individual like a hygienist, so we're just going to use a round number of $100 an hour. Mind you, that should be low for most everyone, but let's just go with that number and be simple about it. That in that $100 an hour, those extra 15 hours that we gained, we just gained $1,500 a month in production. May not seem like a whole lot, but multiply that by 12, and it seems like a rather sexy number. Let's just say you generate $500 an hour. That means $7,500 a month that we've now gained. And for those of you who generate something a little bit more, and let's just say it's somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,500 an hour, that extra 15 hours per month that you've gained would generate another $22,500 for the month. Now imagine multiplying that by 12. Seems like a pretty awesome number, I'm guessing. So those of you who think we don't have time for team meetings, it takes very little to overcome the little bit of time that we've invested in that team meeting. But when you think about the efficiencies that we can and should gain from having the team meeting And taking that extra time, and the old saying of work expands to fill the time, if we get real religious about being productive with the time that we've gained and spend that on customers and clients and generating more production or more revenue, then absolutely you could generate another $1,500 a month, another $7,500 a month, maybe $22,000 a month. Seems like it's a worthwhile investment to me. So there's one answer to one question I got about team meetings recently. As I mentioned, I have several more that I'll be answering in the next few podcasts. I hope you are enjoying this, and I'm looking forward to bringing you the next one.